The Awakening of Eckhart Tolle. One night in 1977, at the age of 29, after long periods of depression and continuous states of anxiety, Eckhart Tolle said to himself, "I cannot live with myself any longer." This was the thought that kept repeating itself in his mind. Eckhart Tolle recalled the moment of his enlightenment by saying, "Then suddenly I became aware of what a peculiar thought it was. Am I one or two? If I cannot live with myself, there must be two of me, the I and the self that I cannot live with. Maybe, I thought, only one of them is real." I was so stunned by this strange realization that my mind stopped. I was fully conscious, but there were no more thoughts. Then I felt drawn into what seemed like a vortex of energy. It was a slow movement at first and then accelerated. I was gripped by an intense fear, and my body started to shake. I heard the words "resist nothing," as if spoken inside my chest. I could feel myself being sucked into a void. It felt as if the void was inside myself rather than outside. Suddenly, there was no more fear, and I let myself fall into that void. Without any thought, I knew, that there is infinitely more to light than we realize. That soft luminosity filtering through my bedroom curtains was love itself. Tears came into my eyes. I got up and walked around the room. I recognized the room, and yet I knew that I had never truly seen it before. Everything was fresh and pristine, as if it had just come into existence. I picked up things, a pencil, an empty bottle, marveling at the beauty and aliveness of it all. That day I walked around the city in utter amazement at the miracle of life on Earth, as if I had just been born into this world. For the next 5 months, I lived in a state of uninterrupted deep peace and bliss. After that, it diminished somewhat in intensity, or perhaps it just seemed to because it became my natural state. I could still function in the world, although I realized that nothing I ever did could possibly add anything to what I already had. Eckhart writes, "You can only lose something that you have, but you cannot lose something that you are. Death is a stripping away of all that is not you. The secret of life is to die before you die and find that there is no death. Being spiritual has nothing to do with what you believe and everything to do with your state of consciousness. All true artists, whether they know it or not, create from a place of no mind, from inner stillness." What a liberation to realize that the voice in my head is not who I am. Who am I then? The one who sees that the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Eckhart Tolle suggests that by changing our perspective and becoming more aware of our thoughts, we can find greater peace and contentment. The moment you become aware of the ego in you, it is strictly speaking no longer the ego, but just an old, conditioned mind pattern. Ego implies unawareness. Awareness and ego cannot coexist. This quote highlights the importance of being aware of the ego, which Tolle defines as the identification with thoughts and the self. He suggests that by becoming aware of the ego, we can separate ourselves from it and find greater clarity and freedom from suffering. Don't look for peace. Don't look for any other state than the one you are in now. Otherwise, you will set up inner conflict and unconscious resistance. Forgive yourself for not being at peace. The moment you completely accept your non-peace becomes transmuted into peace. Anything you accept fully will get you there, will take you into peace. This is the miracle of surrender.
I hope you enjoyed this tribute to Eckhart Tolle. I intend to make more videos in honor of those who helped me find this unconditional freedom. This channel is an ongoing experiment dedicated to your awakening. Much love. Wild Satsang.